Welcome back to GP Reactions. Hope you're well, and thank you as always for subscribing. So I'm going to be carrying on with the Genesis setlist from the Duke tour of 1980, taken from the Lyceum Ballroom of May that year. So the next track I will be listening to is Behind the Lines, and it should be kind of an interesting one because it kind of like formed a melody, I believe, where you have Behind the Lines, Duchess, and then guide vocals, and I'm going to see how I kind of like get on with listening to Behind the Lines, and then I'd kind of decide whether maybe I want to split these up and kind of react to them sort of separately. But so I'm kind of going to wing this a little bit, so if you bear with me. So there, this is Behind the Lines, taken from the album Duke and live at the Lyceum Ballroom. So without further ado, just wanted to quickly kind of pause it there because already it started like fantastically. This track has it's kind of felt very euphoric, and then it's kind of slipping into a little bit sort of coming down from that euphoria. So it's almost like I love their instrumental either intros or the parts that they kind of put into the middle of their songs, because they kind of take you on a bit of a journey. And I'm sure I heard somewhere that Duke was an unintended concept album, or it may be an intentional concept album, but this I love the start of this, just to see them all kind of like jamming away, and Phil Collins on the drums. A lot of people kind of forget that Phil Collins was a drummer, especially those who have kind of been introduced to him post, I suppose, his 80s single solo stuff. But yeah, I'm loving this. The quality of this video is fantastic as well. So yeah, let's carry on.
I held the book so tightly in my hand.
mean, so far in this song, I'm kind of feeling that he's either it's either a relationship between somebody and their god, or he's talking about a relationship that he's trying to protect and maybe save a relationship. And so far he's kind of saying how much he's going to fight for that relationship. It seems to be like a determination in his first part of the song that he wants to kind of like save a particular relationship. And whether this is a relationship with a spiritual relationship or a relationship with a person, kind of feels like at some point it's kind of lost its way, and it's either going to make or break, depending on what happens kind of next.
There's no way you can run to, no place to hide. Are you letting me down? Really, I don't understand. It's getting stronger, but you never had. Don't wanna leave you, don't wanna go, but I'm losing all control. Can't you see me? I'm slipping away. I can only stay if you promise to keep me here. Oh no. It's the time that love. There's so many times since then I've read those words, but I'm waiting to see you. Now can you see me? Oh,
So to go, sorry to pause it there. I think we're just kind of going into a section now before the next track, which I think is Duchess. So I kind of got lyrics up in front of me. I just wanted to kind of recap what I kind of think this song's about. First of all, actually, looking at it, Behind the Lines was written by Phil Collins and Mike Rutherford. So I'm kind of thinking if this was like 1980, wasn't that like roughly around about the time that he wrote In the Air Tonight, which was about the failing of his marriage, a relationship. So maybe there's like an influence there on this first track. So I think, yeah, I thought at first it may have been like that it was a conversation between man and God. So the man would say, "You gave me no warning, you gave me no reason," and the God then says, "But I was with you, right by your side." But I'm now kind of feeling that this is purely about kind of relationship, and a conversation from his side. It's written in the book. It's like again, you see, that could be taken as like a religious text. It's written in the book, or maybe it's just like the book of love or something. It's hotter now than I've known before, but I feel so cold and I don't know why. But if a fire within your heart can beat the storm, then I really believe you can make it right. So he's kind of really trying to not only instill a determination within himself to make it right, but also to kind of give her the energy to come forward and make it right for them both as well. And actually, the very first verse, just to backtrack, I held the book so tightly in my hands. I saw your picture, heard you call my name. There was something strange, I could not look away. I wanted to be there, I wanted to go. It's almost like his opening, it's almost like a relationship that's finished in the very first verse, and the book is opening is perhaps, maybe it's a photo album. We used to have photo albums back then. So when we look at photographs, sometimes we kind of remember the maybe the time that we had in that photograph. You might have been taken at the picture. There was something strange. I could not look away. And I guess we sometimes do that with photo albums. We open it and we'll just stare at a picture for some moments. I wanted to be there. I wanted to go. It kind of means, you know, he literally wants to be back in that moment if he could. And then I think the following verses take you to a present moment. So the first verse is the future. The following verses probably represent the present, which over time has come now. We must show our feelings, but I'm looking right through you, and your heart is empty. Now this feels like there is no possible reconciliation anymore. That he's actually decided himself that no matter what he does, he can't save this relationship. Or it could be that God is watching and it's God saying, the time has come now. We must show our feelings. Faith, perhaps, you know, you must show your faith again. But I'm looking right through you and your heart is empty. Could be taken that way. I'm still kind of like on the relationship arc of this rather than a relationship with a spiritual relationship. But wait a minute, I don't understand. It's getting stronger, so grab my hand. Don't want to leave you. I don't want to go, but I'm losing all control. Can't you see me? I'm slipping away. I can only stay if you've the will to keep me here. It's written in a book. So many times since I've read those words, just waiting to see you, can you see me? So if the relationship's pretty much dead, he's still kind of saying that it's if she has the will to perhaps come to him and try and reconcile this relationship, then there is a chance. But just going by these lyrics, it's almost a desperate wish to kind of make something happen, which isn't going to work or happen at all. So, guys, that was my that's my reaction to the live version of Behind the Lines by Genesis, and I'm going to carry on with this in one kind of section, and I'll see how it all kind of fits together, and then I may have to kind of split things up into kind of like maybe 2 or 3 sections, depending on how long the length of it, the overall length of it is. So for the first part, I hope you enjoyed this, and it's a great song, fantastic music at the beginning. It kind of sets the pace for the relationship in the lyrics, and I really think this was probably about Phil more than it was about Mike Rutherford. So yeah, we'll see what the rest of this brings us.